Someone near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite characters in the show, our narrator, our giant, our fireman, Mr. Carel Struycken.
Deputy Andy, bringing out the police force here, sexy Deputy Andy, Mr. Harry Goaz. And now to compliment Andy, we have the lovely Miss Kimmy Robertson, Lucy herself. And to finish off the police force, or not to finish off the police force, but to introduce our newest member of the police force, Mr. Dana Ashbrook, Deputy All right, up next, Lana Milford from season 2 of Twin Peaks. We have Robyn Lively. And in season, The Return is what I'm going to call it. In The Return, we have a great Dougie side plot in Vegas, and we need that. That is such a great part of the show and a world of terror. And the three girls that made this part of the story so special, we have Andrea Watrouse, Amy Shiels, and Giselle DaMier. And she is Shelly, our favorite waitress. And I know we're all starving for some diner food, but she is amazing. She was in Sleepwalkers, one of my favorite movies, and The Witches of East End, etc. Mädchen, Amick. Sorry. We have a lot of our first crushes, Ms. Audrey Horn, Miss Sherilyn, Fenn. This man is as sweet as he is scary as hell. But he's the most charming man I've ever met. Mr. Ray Wise, Leland Palmer. pick a side, right or left of the red couch. And a character so special to us, she is our Laura Palmer, Miss Sheryl Lee. And finally, he's the mayor of Portlandia, but to us, he's our Agent Dale Cooper, and scary Mr. C, and lovable Dougie, Kyle MacLachlan.
You're wondering why I called you all here today.
So all of you together, this is just an amazing event. I want to start things off, and we're going to move quickly, but I want from each and every one of you, this was just an overnight success. And when this was happening, when you guys were just shooting your next gig, and this became what it had become fast, in your lives, watching that happen, what was that experience like for you, just as it was happening? Did you gather with friends and watch along with everybody else? Had you already seen ahead of air? What was your experience for each person as the show just grew?
Well, I was already a big fan, and I don't think I've ever been as nervous coming on the set as I was for Twin Peaks. And it was also the first time I met David Lynch, because I had only seen the cast interactive before. And he walked up to me and shook my hand and said, "Everything is going to be peachy keen." And that was the first time I ever heard that expression.
Harry. Flip your little switch on the mic. Just a little bit. Told you, we're doing it live.
Testing. Well, I was very nervous because Kyle was in Blue Velvet and found in here.
Is that it? Wait, what was the question?
As the show started to rise.
Right, I got it. But it was just really fun to, every time I opened the front door, there was another present there. A basket of muffins, upside down wine from Australia, reporters, and I was popular all of a sudden. So personally, that was very, very unusual and strange because I was just a working person. But they made us go to these different bars to watch the show all the time, and so I never saw it, really. Have to watch it soon.
I had people over to watch like the first few episodes. I had like friends and family and stuff like that over in my house, and I remember watching the dream sequence from I think the second episode in the first season, and us guys didn't know anything about the Red Room or anything. I didn't know anything. So that was, when I saw that, I was just like, man, that might be one of the best things I've ever seen on television ever in my life. That's really awesome.
That was the house where you and your girlfriend broke the bed.
That shit was probably IKEA, so. But it was
Well, I came in second season, And I was completely obsessed with the show and so intimidated. I was so excited when I got the audition. And the women were the most beautiful women I'd ever seen on the show. And I was like, how am I going to get on the show? And it was written that she was supposed to be so beautiful, and the men were just falling at her feet. And I'm like, how am I going to get on the show? So I decided to make Mona Southern. It wasn't written that way. And I thought, well, it's gonna work or it's not. And it worked, and I was so excited. And it was an absolute dream come true. I just couldn't believe I was a part of this incredible show. And yeah, I got on the show and I thought, all right, this is gonna last forever. I can't believe I'm part of this incredible. And then it was, I got on and then it ended. What? Am I cursed? I think I was cursed. And then Ray and I have worked together so many times. It's been so great. Anyway.
I got a call from my agent, and sent this script over called Northwest Passage, and I read it through and I liked it a lot, and they set me up with a meeting with David Lynch, and so I went into the meeting with David thinking I was going to maybe read for the Sheriff Truman. How about that, huh? Yeah, I was all set to maybe play Sheriff Truman. And then when I found out after our little meeting, we talked about our first cars. His was a Volkswagen, I think. And anyway, and then a couple of days later, I got the call, and he was interested in me playing Leland Palmer, and I had to go back to the script to look to see who Leland was again. And I looked at the first scene, and I find out my daughter's dead, and I start crying, and then I go to the morgue and identify her body, and I start crying again, and then I'm in her room, and the police are searching for her diary and other things, and I'm crying again. I said, all this guy does is cry. And then, so the light went on in my head. I'm going to have to find different levels of crying, of mourning for my daughter. And I had no idea what was to come, believe me.
Well, you found all the levels. One of the great performances. I'd like to see that audition tape. That would be sort of fun. We would all have those if we all auditioned for other characters. What might that be like? That could be fun. David spoke to me about the script, and you're right, it was called Northwest Passage initially, originally, and he had written it with Mark Frost. And I think in the beginning I was David's guy for Cooper. I think that was going to be it. Kind of unspoken, but Mark was the wild card in it, and so I had to have had lunch with Mark so he could meet me actually, and so he could be on board with the idea of me playing Dale Cooper. So we went to the Border Grill in Los Angeles, sat down, had a very nice lunch, and I guess I convinced him because the next day we were all systems go. So that's how I came aboard. So, Border Grill, Mark Frost lunch. Dale Cooper, there you go.
I was living in Seattle at the time, and I just got a call that David was in town and there was this whole secret, mysterious thing, and would I go meet him to play a dead girl? And he said, yeah, absolutely. So that was it. He asked if I could be wrapped in plastic and put in cold water and painted gray. And that's how it happened.
Hi. For me, it just was another audition, but only with a genius this time. And making a long story short, somebody had said to me as a new young actress, when you go meet directors, be yourself. Don't think that you have to put on a show or behave a certain way. If you're kind of bitchy or you have a sense of humor, they've all heard this boring story. So whoever you are, be that person. Well, I was kind of shy when I first met people, and then it's David Lynch. I'm like, do I do this, you know? And so I was myself, and he just talked a lot and asked a lot of questions, and
I want to hold it.
Oh, you little sweet pea. And then, so I left. I mean, I thought it went okay. The casting director yelled at my manager and said I should have been more positive. like, well, that didn't work. And they called a week later and said, he's writing your role. And so there was this little role that I was so grateful to get, like, beyond. And then I fell in love with special agent, Audrey fell in love with special agent Andrea. I cried my eyes out when I saw him a few days ago. I'm like, whoa, embarrassing.
So I was new to Hollywood. I was only 17, 18, 17. And I was filming the pilot to Baywatch. And I was supposed to go down. I had gone in for Joanna Ray, an incredible casting director, a bunch of times on a bunch of different stuff, and she's very particular who she takes to David. And so I was supposed to go down and meet David, and I only knew David from Blue Velvet and this very strange film, Dune. And I was like, okay, so that guy's doing TV, that's weird. And I was super late on set, and I was super worried that I wasn't gonna make it, but they waited, and I read with Eric, Joanna's son, and I read for Lara Flynn Boyle's part, Donna, and we read, and it was great, but sort of like at the end of the meeting, David just said, do you want to do a TV show with me? And I was like, yeah. And then, you know, that's history. I think one of the questions too was like, were you aware of it?
As it was happening?
As it was happening.
How was that experience?
And I wasn't at all. Like, I watched with friends at home and, you know, talked to my family and stuff, but it wasn't until like the trip to New York for upfronts that it was all of a sudden like, the entire Manhattan was just surrounding us, and we're like, whoa. And then the invitation for Phil Donahue, and I was like, oh, we made it. We made it.
I think by the time we came around, we knew what big of a deal it was, that's for sure. But yeah, they didn't tell me what I was auditioning for, but they did say it was a Showtime revival, so I'm a massive Twin Peaks fan, and I did know Showtime was doing a Twin Peaks revival. So I thought, just in case that's what it is, I'll wear what I call my Laura Palmer sweater, and make sure to mention I'm from the Pacific Northwest. And it worked, so. Thanks so much for inviting me along with all these amazing original cast members. It's a real honor. How I ended up getting involved was ages ago, over a decade ago. I was living in London, and my agent called me to say, this casting director, Joanna Ray, is in town and she's requested to meet you. So I looked up her resume and I'm like, how has she heard of me? So I go in and she says all these really wonderful things. She's like, I've got this star beside your name and I've wanted to meet you for a very long time and I'm finally in London. And I said, are you sure you got the right person? Why? But it turns out that she had seen a screen test I did for Randall Wallace, which the film never went. And she said, Amy, if you ever come to LA, I'd really love to introduce you to David. I just think you're perfect to collaborate with him on something. So then I moved to LA some years later, and I called her up and I was like, hey Joe, I'm here. And she looked after me. And then I met David and Candy came about. But as you were saying, the second part of the question, did I know it was going to change anything? Well, I don't really come into it until episode 10, and I had no idea what episodes I was going to be in, and I was mortified because I had done a bunch of press about working with him. And every week I was watching it with my two pals going, oh my god, I'm not in this show, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so embarrassed. And then I remember the first episode that I'm properly in, I think it's 10 or 11, I decided just not to watch it. I was in London and I woke up to my phone exploding, and Owen, one of the other cast members, had sent me a photo of me walking into the office, and I thought, oh my God, thank God. Well, at least my mom will be happy now.
My experience is similar to Giselle's, where I got the audition, and instead of reading anything, the audition was, tell me about yourself, which at the time I'd never heard of, but now I go, oh, I see, because David Lynch doesn't actually cast actors, he casts people. He wants to see how you talk, how your face moves. He's really specific. And when I got to set, it was the most surreal experience. It's 6 years later, and it's still the most surreal experience. And I feel so grateful to be up here with all these people that I look up to. And I love these two girls.
During the scenes, or during the shooting of the show, before takes, did David, especially, hold on, sorry, sweet. I'm just like, oh my God, something's happening. But Sherilyn, especially, I know every time we see Audrey, there's a theme and a rhythm to the scene. And did David play any of the music on set? Was any of it pre-composed, not during the take, but for just kind of to get people to kind of get in that sort of mood? Did Angela or David play anything before takes? And
he didn't, except when he, in the second episode, he rewrote that whole scene in the coffee shop, and then said, and you're gonna dance at the end, and I was like, why? In the coffee shop. And like, I'm just gonna get him into a dance. And he said, because we wrote you a song and it's Audrey's theme, and you're just gonna groove and you're gonna love it. And I'm like, okay. He stayed. I actually called my teacher. I was so nervous because, you know, you come all prepared. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, listen to David Lynch, okay? Just listen and do what he said.
Yeah, the music's so iconic, and I know Dana in The Return, when you first walk in, you know, as Deputy Bobby Briggs, and all of us are surprised because, you know, Bobby killed a guy. But anyway, you go, and when you see Laura's picture and you start to cry, I'm assuming all of us in the room felt this. I mean, that was a punch in that, your reaction. Did David just kind of cry, or was it more of just, did it hit you personally as, wow, we're back on this show, it's been 25 years?
It was just written that way. I have said this, I told a bunch of people today at my table, but it's just written that way. It was like Bobby walks into the office, he sees a picture of Laura Palmer on the table, and Bobby cries, and that was it. And I just had to try to not mess it up.
Yeah, that's it. Kyle, in The Return, this had to be a wonderful actor's playground for you, tackling the three very different roles in the show. How exciting was this to not only come back to the show, but then go, oh, David, you have to be doing everything under the sun in this run.
Exciting.
How much pressure?
Frightening, scary. Yeah, it was a gift that David gave to me. And you know, I've been doing this for a while, and I know I feel pretty capable. I can sort of handle anything that comes along, except when I read Mr. C, I said, well, I've never done anything like this, and I got to find this person in me. And I was like, and if I don't find it, if it doesn't, I knew if it didn't work, the show wasn't going to work. So, a little pressure. But I had an ace in the hole. I was working with David Lynch. So, together we basically built Mr. C. Actors won't know, from the outside in, we actually built him. And then that created, of course, an interior life. Starting with just his look, with that jacket, and that really just wrong hair. That was so perfect. Down to the little detail of the pin in the back. I mean, everything was very, very specific and thought through. And then when we added a little bit of a kind of a dirt effect on his face that just sort of sold it for me. I was like, when I look at that, I'm like, that's it. And then we added also, I think it was my suggestion, I said, this guy's a shark. And I said, I think that his eyes there's no life there. So I said, let's put a little contact in and just help that. And that also sort of moved the character closer to what I wanted. It gives him also an otherworldly kind of quality, which I thought was important. So that was David and I kind of working together. And then Dougie was just, there was an exercise that I did in school years ago when I was in training, and it was called object discovery. And so it's as if you're seeing something for the first time and you have no idea what it is or what it does. It's like a baby, you're a baby basically. Until you sort of, something about it attracts you and you interact with it, and that was pretty much Dougie. So it was just finding that every day with David, which was a lot of fun. And then the goal for me was always to try to make him laugh on every take. So whatever I did as Dougie, my goal was to make David break up because of what I was doing. The other thing about Dougie was it took a lot of courage, I found, to be so still and to not do anything. Because as actors, we like to do stuff, at least I do. I like to fill the moment. And this was like, no filling the moment. You're there and people are looking at you, and if they're uncomfortable, it's just the way it goes. So I took a lot of courage to try and do that. And then finally when we got to Cooper, I didn't consciously think about what he might be like 25 years later. I just said, I'm different, he'll be different. So, and I just went into it with the same kind of personality, I guess, as I had with the first guy. So, and it came out as it came out. So, it was sort of an interesting process. And then there were some other little fun pieces along the way. The fat Dougie was a lot of fun. Just to be able to pat your belly like that was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was good. So.
Well, incredible performance, Scott.
Thank you.
And I cannot say the incredible performance without Sheryl, especially. Let's specifically point out when on the evening Maddie was killed, and on network TV, that scene, which had to be the scariest scene ever aired on network TV, that day, I know, was not a happy day. David, from what I'm told, is filled with the love and family that he brings to the set. Is that vital? Especially on a day like that where you have to scream all day, you have to go through this all day. From what I understand, there were 3 different ways of shooting that scene, 3 different killers to kind of throw off any spoilers that may happen. Getting through that, how did David, the feel of David that he brings to set, like did that, the mental place, how easy is that and how hard is that to shut off when you go home? Your performance was incredible.
Well, I was really tired.
Oh, I bet.
At the end of that.
Yeah.
But those days they take a lot of focus because it has to be really choreographed, and I was working with great actors. So I was in good hands, and you just know those days are what they are, and you do them, and you focus on what the stunt people tell you to do, and be safe, and you take the emotional journey and trust the people that you're working with.
Yeah, she was. I don't need this. No, she was actually, she was killed by 3 different people that day. By me, Leland, by Ben Horn, and by Bob, Frank Silva. Because David didn't want even the crew to know who the real killer of Laura Palmer was. And so she had to go through having her face smashed into the wall by 3 different people. And it was, I remember it was a long day, 12, 14 hours, I think. And we all needed a massage afterwards, and, to wind down. But yeah, it was quite an experience.
I have a follow-up question. So did you know who, so you just had to give it everything for all three versions.
Oh, that day, I did know, was it the day before that we found out? It was only like the day before, right? I think it was only the day
it was the day before, yeah.
So was it hard for
It was right after the Emmys,
to bring it?
in which we didn't win any. I remember. Oh, I won a technical one, but we were up for 14 Emmys and we didn't win it. L.A. Law was the big show that year.
And where is that now?
Oh yeah, should I?
Yes.
The day before, I got a message from that David wanted to see me up in this room in our production facility, and I came into the room and it was rather dark. I think there was a lava lamp in the corner. and David and Mark were sitting cross-legged on the floor, and Richard Beamer and myself and Sheryl, we all came in and we all got down on the floor, cross-legged, and David looked at me and he reached out and touched my knee and he said, "Ray, it's you. It's always been you." I did not want it to be me. I did not want to leave town. I don't have to go to jail or be killed or whatever, and I did not want that to happen. But then David assuaged my feelings by saying I would die in Cooper's arms. And he would read the Tibetan Book of the Dead over me. And I would look down that long tunnel and see the white light, and my daughter Laura would be at the end of it with her arms outstretched to me, and she would forgive me. He painted such a picture that I no longer felt badly about leaving the show. And then I hoped I could come back in the third season. But that's another story.
Can I say something? I've never told you this before, Sheryl, or anyone actually, ever. But for some reason, I was called into work that day. And I was there the entire day. And I watched from a little crack in the fireplace. I watched you shoot all three of those scenes. And when I got home that night, I never did work. I don't know why to work. There was no reason. There was nothing I was missing. No interview that the producer didn't want me to do, so he called me into work. So I went home and just sat on my back porch like in a stupor because I couldn't tell anybody. And I've never told anybody this, but I remember saying out loud, Ray should win an Emmy, Shirley should win an Emmy. No, what's bigger than an Emmy? And I just, I was so impressed. It was so frightening. It was really, it was crazy.
And we are, I know a lot of you have questions, so we're going to line up in just a sec. But first, because we just ended on kind of a downer, my bad. You know, my friend Ray, what people don't know is at night, he sneaks out and he goes to the jazz club and he croons for people, and he's amazing, and that's made up, but he does have an amazing voice, and I think before we do audience questions, I think Ray should sing us out of the dark into the light to lead up to our audience questions. What do you think? Can you give us a little ditty, Ray? As my friend, Gordy, please.
Sorry, I can't. Oh, Mercy, does a little lamb, a diddly lamb to one you. Oh, Mercy, does a little lamb, a diddly lamb to one you. And though the words sound queer, and funny to your ear, a little bit jumpy and jivey. Say mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. Oh, mares eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. A kiddly ivy too, wouldn't you? A kiddly ivy too, wouldn't you?
Mic check, 1, 2.
Check.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. How's it going?
Great, man. How's it going with you, man? Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Dude, I'm psyched to be here, man. This stuff's always nerve-wracking for me, because it's always like, you know, I personally don't think I'm that interesting, you know? I don't know. But I appreciate y'all coming out, man. It's amazing, man. It's so cool to be here, man. This is definitely I'm still fairly new to the con stuff. This is crazy. This is a crazy one, man. Seeing everybody suited up in full gear. I mean, I know that stuff takes dedication, so it's like awesome. And then like, it's incredible. It's like, this is like a horror convention, and like horror is so like surrounded, you know, it's like based around like death and murder and like vile, like disgusting, macabre things, and it's like everyone's just so nice and sweet. It's amazing.
That's the secret, Eduardo. We're all secretly really nice and sweet.
And then when you don't know it, right, when you least expect it, slice.
Exactly.
I loved you though. I loved you. Yeah.
Well, you were kind of mentioning everyone here. Everyone looks so incredible. I've seen a couple Argyles roaming around this weekend.
Yeah.
How does that feel to have an officially licensed costume?
I mean, it's hilarious. It's kind of weird. It was funny. We were my friends and I. We were all laughing at there was it was online. It was on like Amazon. They found it. They're like, dude, look, they made a costume of you, and it was like the kids one. And there was this little kid, and it was so funny, he's wearing this big ass wig, and it was hilarious because they like spray tanned him, and the spray tan ended like right here. So like the hair should have covered it, but it didn't, because it was like tucked to the side, and like this much wasn't like tan. It was hilarious.
They need to redo. We need to.
Yeah, man, it's so funny, man. But hey, it's all love, man. I can't believe there's people out here walking around in a wig for the sake of because I know you guys are eating all that hair. You feel me? Like I sometimes like I've gotten so used to it now. Like sometimes I'll be eating, I'll be munching, people talking to me like and then I'm just like pulling a long ass hair out my mouth, and I'm like It's like eggs in it, shit. Yeah, it's like
yum.
That's how it goes.
Well, okay. So let's say that you were to attend a convention and you had the opportunity to cosplay. Who would you attend as?
That is a crazy good question, man. There's so many. Oh man, there's so many different options. Maybe. Dude, if I started doing like pull-ups, man, I'd come as Sarah Connor, Terminator 2.
Love.
You feel me?
Yes.
I get the white tank top with the gray sweats. You feel me? And I'd come barefoot. Obviously, she's coming from. You remember that? Yeah. She's got the ponytail with the little bangs. Okay. I'd probably have to do that. I'd probably come as Sarah Connor, Terminator 2.
Can I be your John Connor?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll start.
Either that, or you'll be the T-800, or you could be, the T-1000, whichever one you want to be. But I would love it if you were John Connor.
Okay,
that'd be
done.
great.
It's happening.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Sarah Connor, man. Everybody's mother.
I thought you would have said Batman. I know you're a big Batman guy.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I would, but that's the thing is lugging that suit. Dude, it was so crazy, like a lifelong dream. I was fortunate enough to be able to get one off of eBay last year. Literally when I was shooting Stranger Things, I was just scrolling on eBay one night and I found it there and I was like, oh fuck yeah, it was the full thing, and I got it. And it's just, you're pouring sweat in that thing. It's so heavy. It's so crazy. I mean, sometimes, every once in a while, I'll just throw on just the mask. You know what I mean? I got a big head, I got a big dome with a lot of hair, but that cowl, that Keaton cowl, whatever, I don't know why that one fits me like a glove. It fits me so good. I love it. I put it on, I'm like comfortable. I can't hear a fucking thing, but like it fits me so good.
So is Keaton your Batman?
Dude, the thing is, I love like all of them, but I want to say, God, he's the guy that verbally said to Joker, "I'm gonna kill you." Like, that's fucking sick. That's crazy. And people don't like the whole Batman killing. Well, get over it, man. Get over it. But I think my Batman in my heart and soul is Kevin Conroy. You feel me? From the animated series, man. I think that dude's got my heart and soul. Mask of the Phantasm. I used to rent that at the video store a lot. And it's just, dude, that guy's got my heart, dude. Him and obviously Mark Hamill Joker, like. I met Tara Strong at a convention like not that long ago. She's obviously my entire childhood. And it was so crazy, like this Swedish lady. If you guys ever get to meet, I'm sure you guys have probably met her, man. It's like, dude, she's the best, man. She's so cool.
She's voiced everything from Harley Quinn to, what was it, Dill Pickles from Rugrats?
Yeah, dude. The Powerpuff Girls, she's like Bubbles and dude, everything, man. She's done so much stuff. It's amazing, man. She's so talented. I wish I could be as talented as her.
You are. What are you talking about?
No, that's
Well,
come on. She's Tara Strong. She's a legend, man.
She is, but you're Eduardo Franco, and you're a legend. I mean, look, I think
I'm the guy that cut his wiener off in a movie. That's what I am.
And not a lot of us can say that, so you can. So I think it's great, and of course, we want to talk about all things Stranger Things because the addition of your character this season was so incredible, and I couldn't think of anybody else that could play the role. So I'm going to ask this question, and I hope it's okay to ask. If there was a smoke circle between Argyle, Tommy Chong, Willie Nelson, and Snoop Dogg, who's the last one standing?
I think maybe Willie. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't I think Snoop Dogg say that once?
That Willie could outstick.
That Willie could outstick. Why do I feel, I might be making this up now. You know, we do that stuff where we like, I remember, and then you're making shit up. I might be making that up. It's between Snoop Dogg and probably Willie Nelson, dude.
Okay.
Somebody said something about how Willie Nelson was just like, it was just crazy. And what's so funny is like, that stuff, like, I'm playing that shit, like, Argyle would for sure be in that circle. I don't think I could ever, I would probably die. I would probably die. If I was there, I would seriously suffocate.
But Argyle, on the other hand,
Argyle would for sure be there for like 5 minutes, be like, oh, and then pass out, and the next it was the greatest night ever, and it's like, he didn't even live it, man. Yeah, it's probably how it would be.
What were you like in high school?
Me? Oh, man, I was, I was nothing. You feel me? I wasn't anything. I wasn't cool, and I wasn't super funny or anything. I wasn't, I don't know, man. I used to try hard at a lot of things, like school-wise, academically, like, I tried to, my mom was always very, she always pushed me, you gotta come home with A's, and like, God, if I came home with a B, she was like, why wasn't it an A? And like, it was like that, so it's like, it was hard. Like, I wasn't a straight A student, but like, I was always trying to be. And I think in high school, I caught the acting bug in 7th grade. And I tried to pursue that stuff in high school as well. But it got hard, man, just cause like, oh jeez, I'm making a mess. I'm sorry, guys.
Special effects, guys.
I hope it was perfectly fine when it was closed, and as I opened it, set it down. So sorry, let me get a sip.
Fiji water. There it is.
See, and I had the regular Kirkland signature in the back, but they're like, you don't have to, there's a water up there. And then I saw it's Fiji. I was like, I'm gonna look like a fucking asshole drinking the Fiji out of here, man. Because I'm perfectly fine with the Kirkland.
I'm a Kirkland girl too. I get it.
Anyway, so sorry. So yeah, like I caught the acting thing, like I loved it so much. Like obviously loved movies growing up, but like 7th grade is when I joined theater, and I was like, dude, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to be an actor. And then high school I tried, but like, education, it gets hard. The education system, every year it's like it gets worse, money gets tighter, whatever the fuck these school districts say that they want to fucking feed you, you know what I mean? No disrespect to any fucking people who work in the what do you call it, like the superintendents and shit, the people that pull the strings.
Yeah, those guys.
No disrespect, man, but come on, dog, the money's there, y'all gotta fucking spread it, okay? Jesus Christ, man, these teachers, man, they need to fucking live, okay? They got lives too. You feel me? So annoying, yeah, it's so annoying. See people like fucking asking these teachers to babysit these people's crazy ass kids and then also fucking educate them at the same fucking time, man. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, anyway, but I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, whatever the fuck, man. It's your life. You do whatever the hell you want to do, right? Anyway, So that was it. Like it was getting harder. So like like theater class was getting worse and worse. And like I had to get out. I was like, this isn't fun anymore. And then like I don't know. Like in high school, I think I was a doofus. I was a dingus. I think like I was like. I wasn't like the kid that like the anime kid that like runs to class, you know what I mean?
The Naruto run?
Yeah, or like walks on walls and shit, because like those kids were fucking sick. They were crazy. But we definitely, like me and my friends, like we had like our lunch table, and our lunch table was like packed to the brim. I remember it was like with all kinds of different types of like tropes and of like high school kids or whatever. And whether it was like, the very quiet kids or like the very smart quiet kids or like just like us who were like kind of loud and stupid with each other or whatever, like we were pretty open-minded, you know what I mean? We tried to be, at least I think. Or I don't know if we tried to, I think it just naturally were. I'm looking back and I'm like, I guess we were pretty open-minded, you feel me? It was like, we're just idiots though. Like legit fucking idiots, right? Now it's like, oh shit, I gotta worry. I'm so like, it's such an, like, what do you call it? Like, I'm so self-aware now that I'm like, oh, I'm a person living on this planet or amongst other people. I should probably behave, you know what I mean? I should probably not be an idiot, That's what, you don't know that until you get older. They're like, I'm alive. I should probably behave.
Yeah. Well, thank you for also bringing back the words dingus and doofus, which is, thank you.
You know another one I love saying? Bozo.
Bozo's
This
great.
fucking bozo. Yeah, I love that so much, man.
We need to bring back some of these old, make them new again.
Nincompoop.
Oh, great.
Dude, that's all like Bugs Bunny and like Looney Tunes, man. They would always just say all these crazy things.
Yeah, I encourage you to keep this going throughout the rest of the day. Just whatever words you can call people. Nincompoops, that's great. So before we do get to questions from the crowd, I wanted to ask about your music as well. And I'm so glad that I get to say the name of your group, which is Dumb Bitches with Internet.
Can you say that out loud one more time?
Dumb Bitches with Internet?
Can you say that one more time a little bit louder?
Yes, Dumb Bitches with Internet?
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
Yes, no, thank you.
No, I love that you said it, man. No, dude, the way you're like grateful that you were able to say it, dude. It's so funny, man. We had this one show one time we were gonna do, and the place like canceled on us. They're like, we can't, your name, we can't really like, we can't put it up on the. And we're like, get over it, man. Are you kidding me, man? What if it like someone? I don't know. It's just so ridiculous. Like, it's like wouldn't you be more worried about like whether we're gonna be good or not on the fucking stage? You know what I mean? It's like it's hilarious. It was like that was a little too much, but like no, I'm glad like it's like we stuck with it and like we're still going at it really strongly. Like we're trying to figure out how to like maneuver and guide ourselves through like the music stuff. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I don't know how to book anything. I don't know, because I don't know. The thing is, it takes so much to just organize stuff like this. Like, how is there not chaos, complete chaos happening right now? That's what I want to know. But there's so many things that get put into play in order to like, there's so many insurance things. There's so many like, it's incredible the amount of hands that have to come together to put all this stuff together. So it's like, you can't just be like, just get with your friends and throw a show. Like everyone loves to say, everyone in LA loves to say that to me. You just gotta like go out there. All right, dude. Like, yeah, sure, buddy. On daddy's money, of course you can do whatever you want. But it's like everybody else, everyone's gotta eat unless you don't want to do a good show. So it's like, it's a whole thing. And I'm not saying like the money's a problem. I'm saying it's like, it's everything. It's people, lives. Like everything comes into play, and it's so many things that you gotta worry about that I'm trying to figure out because. If nobody else wants to do it, we got to figure it out ourselves, right? That's how it's always been for us in the music thing. It's like, if nobody else is going to work with us, whatever, we're going to do whatever we can with what we got. And that's how we've been doing on everything you hear that we have, like on our Spotify and Apple, like we're making that in a bedroom. You feel me? Like it's always been in a bedroom. At one point it was in a kitchen. It's like, it's just been...
What other room can you use next? What's next?
Bathroom,
yes.
The garage.
The den.
Yeah. No, it's always been with what we have, and like I love that you get a lot of you guys like have naturally like gravitated towards it just because of the shows and Stranger Things or whatever. No, it's like throwing me in some sort of like weird spotlight, and it feels great. I don't ever want to shove it down somebody's throat. I would love for it to be naturally, organically like discovered And a lot of people have been telling me like, yo, dude, we love it. And the fact that it resonates with some people is so reassuring. Every time I hear that stuff from you guys at these conventions, I go back home and I tell the other dumb bitch, I'm like, dude, let's get the fuck out of LA, bro. All the love's out there, man. Everybody else out there, the rest of the world, man, everyone else is like, everyone's fucking with us. They're like, what are we doing over here? And it's just like, yeah, man, let's figure it out. So that's what we're in pursuit of right now.
Heck yeah. Well, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you asking me about that.
Oh, sure.
Seriously, like legit. Thank you for because I know obviously you guys fans of Stranger Things. I want to talk about shit that I give a fuck about sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
Batman and dumb bitches with internet. Yeah, of course. That's what we're here for. Woohoo. All right, guys. So whatever questions you may have.
Wow. Back there. They need an elevator.
Let us pray! It's exorcist time! Demon be gone! Give us back Linda Blair! Fucking holy water has fucking blue. How'd you know about that?
Wait, it's Luke. Luke up for the fucking kids. Fuck you.
The Catholic Church was a dark time in the 70s.
Hey guys, today is Sunday of Spooky Empire and we just finished 2 panels with Twin Peaks, which was amazing, as well as Eduardo Franco, who plays Argyle in Stranger Things, also has a band called Bitches with Internet. And I'm wearing my outfit today. So we're gonna go ahead and check out some more stuff and enjoy the rest of Spooky.
Thank you guys so much, Chucky, Beetlejuice. That's Sam giving some BJ realness. Hey, stay right there. I love a good spinner. Go ahead and show everyone one more time. I heard you cackling. You know what I meant. Very good, Sam. Thank you so much. All right, next up is Alejandro, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah, the glowing on that is great. All right, I know you guys have probably seen this movie this past year. This is Gordy from Nope. Oh no! He's back and he's pissed! I love that. Thank you, Sebastian. Come over here and let the judges see you. Very good. Thank you, Gordy. Very good, Sebastian. All right, next up, Allison. This is made from scratch EVA foam and Orla. Animals and everything. If you guys saw him walking around the convention floor, the little cart dragging with him, it's perfect.
Let's get ready to rumble! Oh, there's things. Action shot. Ah! Thank you, Kyle. That's Hades. So much detail to that. You guys good? We've got a few more to get through. All right, give a round of applause. Original concept, very good. Zoe, come over this way, let the judges see all the details. You know, you should never lose your head over a guy. You want a divorce? Yeah.
They broke up.
A little bit, you think? Because I tell bad jokes, so I don't get rim shots. Thank you so much, Zoe. Give her another round of applause. Headless Bride. That's so great. Oh, and it smells good. Is poison supposed to smell that good? Okay. Very good. There you go. What is it? Are you? It's vanilla? Oh, you know. Evil smells like vanilla. That's why we love Publix so much. Now you know. Do one more turn, let the audience see the front of that. All I see from the back is this furry little booty. Thank you so much. Nice job, Jane. There we go. All right, the lady of the hour for the weekend. Welcome to the stage, Alana. This is Laura Palmer. We were going to hang out, but she got a little tied up. They're not getting better. She sealed in plastic for freshness. Yeah. Come on over, let's see those details. Complete with the letter and everything. Oh, and the eyes. Yes. Mostly used hardware supplies, yeah. So your leftover hurricane prep made a costume. Very good. One more turnaround all the way from Tampa. Laura Palmer! I love a good cherry pie. The mask was made from scratch from foam paint, silicone. The pants are actually hand painted. Yeah, right? It's a steady hand there, David. It's a cherry pie that'll kill you, inspired from Twin Peaks. Come over this way a little bit more so the judges can see. You wanna touch it? I wanna touch your face.
How's it taste?
I am not saying that on the microphone. What's it taste like? Are you gonna say it? You popped his cherry?
I popped his cherry.
There you go. All right, give it up for David! Thank you so much. So when they say you in one army, he brings his own. Yes, stop right here, guys. Let's see the details in all those costumes. Sound effects and everything. Very nice. Mask, silicone, prosthetics, custom dress, custom dye, everything.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Wayne and Jesse. You made the hands, yeah? Hands are great.
Give it away! The devil will get you!
I got one name, Mike.
just a little bit more if possible. And we can play some music while this happens. Why not? If you happen to have some. As everybody is going around the room, I'm going to remind you, we have Judges Pick Awards, and they're going to highlight people who stood out to them. We have a Best Exhibition Contest winner. That's somebody who has bought 70% of their costume, and they are going to go home with $150 in cash. Next up is the People's Choice Award for the person who wins that award from last Spooky. We'll announce who that winner is. The Best in Show Award is $500 cash and their choice of one of these custom-made guitars from Mohawk Crew. Best Craftsmanship is somebody who has made at least 70% of their costume. They'll go home with $250 in cash and the other guitar from Mohawk Crew. And then the Best Lookalike Award goes home with $150 cash, and all of those categories win a custom Spooky Empire trophy. Yeah. Taking all those costumes, all the details, all the hard work these people put in over probably the past year, 6 months. Competing for fabulous cash and prizes. And as soon as the judges have made their decisions, we will give out some awards.
This one, oh my god. Yes, so good. So good.
You're not gonna get the cigarette back.
Lovely penguin.
Ah, bride to be. I always
we go back to our seats.
I love the outfit. Go on, go.
Go this way.